What's up guys, welcome back in another episode of Exploring the Modes. In today's video we're gonna talk about the Dorian Mode. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so the Dorian mode is the second mode of the major scale. That means that it's built on a minor chord. In fact, there is actually a minor scale with the major sixth, if you will. So if you want to look at that as a major scale, you basically just have to think of a major scale a step below, a full step below the chord that you're playing. For instance, let's take A Dorian. You can think of it just as the G major scale, so a whole step below A. Since A is the second of G, since the Dorian mode is built on the second degree of the scale. So really the Dorian mode is going to be just the G major scale, but obviously in a different context. So let's actually take a look at the intervals of the Dorian mode. We're going to have, again, let's stay in A, and again I'm tuned half step down, so this is going to sound like A flat minor, but let's pretend I'm in standard tuning. I have A, obviously root note, major second, B, C, minor third, D, perfect fourth, E, perfect fifth, F sharp, major sixth, and minor seventh, G, and then back on A. So as you can tell, these are basically the notes of the G major scale, but on an A context, if you will. So again, the notes are the same, but the tonal center and the context, and then obviously the function of each note is going to be different. And so let's actually take a look at the important notes of the Dorian mode. So obviously we have a minor scale, so you're gonna play that on top of a minor chord. But then, interesting thing, you have the major sixth, which actually make it sound less minor, I guess. It sounds less sad than, for instance, the Aeolian mode, which is the minor sixth. So the major sixth really gives it, it gives it a brighter feel, I guess. And I guess that's why it is so much used in jazz, fusion, funk contexts. So you hear Dorian all the time in fusion, jazz, funk, whatever. And so let's take a look at the chords of the Dorian mode. So we're gonna have A minor, B minor, or obviously you can use seventh chords, so A minor 7, B minor 7, C major 7, D dominant 7, E minor 7, F minor 7 flat 5 or F diminished, G major 7, and then A minor 7 again. And then obviously every chord which has the major sixth is going to be very characteristic of the mode. So you can use that to emphasize the quality of the mode. For instance, a very common chord progression, especially in funk and fusion, is A minor 7, so 1 minor 7 to 4 7, dominant 7. So A minor to D7, for instance. You know, these kind of things. And so again, you want to look for the major sixth, in this case F sharp. So if you use that note on a minor triad, on a minor chord, or in a minor scale basically, that is going to give you immediately the Dorian sound. And so that's why that chord progression really emphasizes the quality of the mode, because you have A minor 7, but then the D7, D dominant 7, which has the F sharp in it, which is the major third of D. And then obviously every other chord which has the F sharp in it, so B minor 7, so another very common chord progression, A minor 7 to B minor 7. Then obviously G major 7 is gonna give you a Dorian sound. So basically every time you have the major sixth in a chord. Also another cool sound that you can use is the F sharp half diminished, which is actually kind of a A minor 6 really. If you change the bass from F sharp to A, it's basically A minor 6, so they're kind of the same thing. That means that you can use both arpeggios as you want on both chords. For instance, that was a minor 6 arpeggio or an F sharp half diminished arpeggio. It's kind of the same thing, but it's a very nice color that you can use on a minor chord to give that again a Dorian sound. Again, I'd say the Dorian mode really gives its best in a fusion funk context. I'd say that's where it's more common to see that used. But obviously you can experiment with that and basically come up with something new, something creative. So you can obviously use this mode in other contexts as well. I don't know, a very generic rock riff, I guess, using the Dorian mode. But anyway, you get the idea. You can use every mode once you really understand in depth the characteristic notes and the colors that you can get out of that. You can use every mode to basically create your own thing and use that as a color to create whatever you want to create. And as you can hear, the Dorian mode kind of has this like bright minor feel, which is kind of ambiguous because it's like a minor scale, but it doesn't sound sad. So again, it's interesting to explore the mode and see how you can use that to create the motions that you're interested in creating in your own music. Anyway guys, that's it for today's video. As always, if you enjoyed it, leave a comment or a like. It really helps with the algorithm. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next episode about the next mode. So yeah, I'll see you there. Ciao.